30 by 30 challenge, I didn't start it to lose weight. I didn't start it to get in better shape. Honestly, I started it because I wanted to know if I was going to be able to better prioritize my time. I read something, and I don't know if it was Sahil Bloom. I think it was. But pretty much it's just like 30 minutes of cardio for 30 days straight. You don't skip a day. Think about it, 30 minutes. It sounds like a lot, but it's really not. That's 30 minutes that I would have spent scrolling on TikTok, 30 minutes I would have spent trying to find a show to watch on Netflix, 30 minutes I would have spent doing something that maybe wasn't productive, or really it's just a time killer. And so I started it the day after Christmas. And it's been difficult, and you realize the value of 30 minutes. And you're like, dang, what have I been doing with these 30 minutes every day up until now? Because it's like I've been so consistent about it. Like, I refuse to skip a day. I mean, we've talked about the 2-day rule before, but for me, like, I just don't. I like that feeling of scratching it off on my calendar and not having a break in between each scratch off mark. Yeah. So, I mean, that's why I started the 30 by 30 challenge. And I know we were talking about something that we're implementing. This actually started last week, 15-minute meetings.
Yeah, get in and get out. You know, there's what are you spending all that time in meetings for? And if you start to look at it, and there's 4 people in a meeting, and they're spending an hour in a meeting, and you start to put a calculator behind that stuff, there's so much wasted time shooting the bull, bullshitting. Not that there's not a time for that, but allocate time to do that and keep your meeting focused on your meeting. It's all about personal evaluation, just like you're doing right now, and just like a lot of people are doing at this time of the year. You kind of do an inventory of where you are. And listen, we're all people. We all have flaws. Everybody is dealing with different stuff, and different personal things or business things. So sometimes it's hard to get out of your own way. So, but you have to prioritize yourself. You schedule yourself, schedule that meeting, schedule that session. And if you look at it the same way you would schedule a meeting or an appointment that you can't miss, then you're taking care of you first. You gotta make sure that you're healthy physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, in order to produce and be the best you for your family, for your kids, for your coworkers, for your friends. So, this is just more about personal development, man, which we're big believers in, for sure. It's an easy thing to identify and an easy thing to put a calculator to. And so, it's the same thing. You have glaring things in your personal life. This was a business thing, but there's also a million different things you can check off to ensure that you're accomplishing your personal goals also. It's the same way. I think it's when you pay attention to something and something becomes important to you, then something switches in your brain, and that commitment is sitting there. And I know me, like, I committed to burning 500 calories a day, not missing more than one day in a row. And listen, dude, like, sometimes it's 10 o'clock at night and I'm like, shit, dude, I didn't get to it yet. And I'm out on the cardio machines at 10, 11 o'clock at night, because you got to get it done. But it doesn't matter to me. This is building it's muscle memory. It's building a muscle that once you know how to do this in one part of your life, what you'll find when you start focusing on this, you start applying it to the rest of your life inadvertently. So, one spark typically has a spillover effect that you start paying attention to all these little things. So it's really about self-awareness.
And too, I love this because people are you cannot be motivated every single day of your life. That's just, we're human. You can't always be motivated. So when you're not motivated, that's whenever you have discipline. And it really does suck. Like, I am so tired sometimes, and I'm like, I don't feel like going, even if it's just walking for 30 minutes, I still do it. Because it's like, I don't want to let myself down, Yeah.
I want to go back a little bit to what we talked about with the 15-minute meeting, and what that really entails, more than just saying, hey, we're cutting the meetings down to 15 minutes. But it's more like being organized for these meetings.
Being prepared.
Being prepared.
That's the whole premise of it, is be prepared.
Yeah, so you take that kind of aspect with everything. Like, let's say you have that task list that we talked about before, where you're trying to prioritize what you put it on a calendar, you put a timeline on it, and you say, all right, I'm dedicating from 2 to 2:15 to take care of this task. And it makes you more aware of what you're trying to do. Like, if you know you have a timeline that you got to get shit done with, you're going to move and get it done that much faster and more efficient, because you have something scheduled to happen right after it, and you don't want to build up.
Yeah, and being busy isn't an excuse. Everybody's busy. Mm-hmm. I haven't talked to one person in so long that said they weren't busy.
Right. Yeah.
It's really getting the excuses kind of out of the way, and it's all about mindset. We talk about it. The people that succeed the most are the people that know how to think the best, right? The people that know how to think the best are typically people who evaluate themselves. There's a lot of self-evaluation. They put themselves under a stringent report card that, that, listen, you either pass or you fail, right? And so you strive. There's lots of days I get to the end of it, and man, I'm like, shit, I missed here. But the good news is that the next day is waiting for you to get back up, and it's a process, dude. And so I think just enjoying the fact. First, the thing is identifying, I've got a problem. We all have problems, just so you know. Nobody is independent of this. No matter how dialed in you are, you can always make things more efficient. So the first thing is really being able to evaluate yourself truthfully and honestly and look in the mirror and say, this is where I'm at. And you know what? This is where I'm at today. But if you start taking action when you do the same thing next year, I think the picture is going to look a lot different. So it's really, we talk about all the time, you got to get started. You have to get moving. You have to develop a plan. Remember, outwitting the devil. What did it say? The people that the devil cannot get to are the people that are free thinkers and have a definiteness of purpose. How do you have a definiteness of purpose? Is when you have hope in your future and you have a roadmap because you're going places, right? And so, that all of these things tie into just being able to evaluate and think about your life in a different way.
And I read too, I don't know who the creator was. They posted it, or I saw it today. I don't know when it was posted, but it said, whenever you say you don't have time for something, like I don't have time to make a post for my business today.
You're projecting that into your life.
To do this.
Yeah.
But if you got paid $300 every time you did that one task, would you have time then?
Of course.
Yes.
Exactly.
So that really, I loved that quote because I'm like, man, I'm just thinking back about all the times I've said to myself, I don't have time to do that today. I don't have time for this today. But it's like, if I was getting paid $300 for it, I would do it. So it's like, you do have time, but it's really about what you're prioritizing your time to. And like, yes, we can only stretch ourselves so thin, but I loved that because it really made me think about the things I say that I don't have time for,
Yeah. Remember, the devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. The way he does that, one of the main ways he does that is with idleness of the mind and not having a purpose in your day, where you find yourself, that's all they're doing. You're letting somebody steal your life from you. When you think about it, we are here for a glimpse of an eye. Mm-hmm. Why would you not want to wake up with a vigor every day and attack it and get the most out of it? How do you get the most out of it? To be the sharpest you can be in all aspects of your life, So it's just one of those things, man. This is everybody in 2023. Wake up with a game plan. If you wake up with a game plan, it might be a shitty game plan in the beginning, but guess what? You'll get better at the game plan at some point, So it's really about having a game plan when you wake up every day, being excited about your day, doing something that's bigger than yourself, joining with a team like we have here, putting yourself in a position to win in life. How do you do that? The things you consume and the people that you hang around should be the people that you're striving to be, right? The people that you spend a lot of time with, your friends, the things that you say, the things that you do, the way that you keep your word, all of these things go into giving you confidence to go and seize the day at the end of the day. Carpe diem, they say, seize the day. Every day, if you wake up with that kind of purpose, you get to a lot of days where you fail. Listen, there's tons of days we leave here, man, it's like, God dang it, man, we missed on this. We just had a situation today. We have a big meeting tomorrow, and we had something organized for it. It didn't go out as we planned, but you know what? It was a learning step into what the completed process is going to be. It's just, you got to enjoy the journey, dude, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. Enjoy where you're at. You only have one of these lives. And the reason you are where you're at is probably because that's where you're supposed to be. So if you want to change your situation, change your behavior.
Yeah.